Hi everyone, it's Carol with BeInspiredMarket.net. Today we're going to be working on this cute banner from Dollar Tree. It's only $1. I picked it up, I think I picked it up last year. I know they carry some, but all I'm doing now is I have a 12 by 12 scrapbook paper that I'm just tracing the design out. Isn't this paper pretty? I am in love. And mustard is the color this year. It is trending. So when I saw the paper, I was like, oh, I got to grab this. So all you're doing is tracing out your banner and cutting it out. Nothing difficult about this. And then I just placed it down to kind of give me that little edge so I knew where to cut the top. So once you have that done, we're going to work with Mod Podge. Just put a little on your board. The brush that I'm using is something that I got from Michaels. It actually is a brush for Mod Podge, but you can use any kind of brush that you have. So just put a thin coat down and place your paper on top. And smooth it out to get any bubbles. Now the trick that I like to use, and this is optional, is I have this mini craft iron. I just take some parchment paper and I go around the paper. It dries the Mod Podge underneath quicker, and it does eliminate wrinkles more than it did if I didn't use it. So there might be a few there, but I pretty much go over the entire surface and make it nice and smooth. Once that's dry, again, do not apply your top coat until your bottom coat is dry. Just apply it on top, and then this way it will seal the paper to the banner. Then put that to the side, and you have to wait till that completely dries. Now, what I'm working on now, these are from Dollar Tree. They're from the toy section. I don't know, those are like construction cones. So we're gonna change this up, believe it or not. So this project right now, I mean, we're talking $1 for the banner and $1 for this cute cone. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. Now be very careful with this step. This isn't something that I would recommend for children or anything like that. But all you're doing is you're going around the center and just push down. And I did this a few times. I would say once or twice. Well, a few times, I would say 2 or 3 times. But I'm just scoring the plastic. Now again, then all I did is I took these, they're wire cutters that are strong, and I just snapped the pieces. Again, be careful, the edges are very sharp, and make sure when you're snapping it off, something doesn't fly and hit you in the eye or anything like that. So again, just be careful. And then I'm going around the edges and just snipping off those rough plastic pieces. But it wasn't difficult to score, and it wasn't difficult to crack off. And then once you have that, you're going to want to take some sandpaper. This is 60 grit. So it's the lower the number, the rougher the sandpaper is. So I just took 60 grit sandpaper and I just roughed up the edges. Not roughed them up, I actually smoothed the edges and just did that just to make sure that there wasn't anything sharp when I placed it on my design. So now what we're going to do is paint the cone. I'm just using Waverly paint. You can find Waverly chalk paint at Walmart. This is the color ink, which is their black. And I just did one coat of the black. Now I did have one here that I did earlier that was already dry. And what we're going to be using is Crackle. Crackle you can find at Michael's. I absolutely love it. So you're just putting the black on there, letting that dry, and then you're applying a coat of the Crackle, let that dry, and then you can apply your top color, which my favorite right now is Plaster, and it's by Waverly. Now, one thing to know about Crackle is you just need to do one swoop of your brush. Now looking back, I wish I would have used a smaller brush. This wasn't a very big project. I didn't need a brush like that, because all you're going to do is take a little paint and you swoop. So you try not to go over the paint. See how I went over a little bit? You just want to get it on there without touching the other paint. And the reason being is it starts to pull the Crackle. So I'm just touching up the edges, but Crackle gives you such a cool look, and I'm in love with it. So again, you're just swooping it, and don't mess with it too much because you will have a big mess. So once you have that all applied, you'll see the Crackle happening instantaneously. Now for the hanger, this is optional. You can leave the hanger on there if you wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and bead some wooden beads. It's off camera, but all I'm doing is taking some hot glue, putting it on the edge of the jute so it doesn't fray, and then just stringing some wood beads. The wood beads I got from Amazon. They're 22 mm. That's usually the standard side, 20 or 22. So I'm just stringing. Again, you can just leave the string as is, but I think this adds a cool touch to the sign. So just get it all the way to the edge. Once you have all your beads on there, you could either staple the string right back to the banner, or in my case, I just decided to hot glue it. Once you have it hot glued, leave it, do not touch it, let it set, and then your hanger will be just as good as it was before. So you can set that to the side. Now, going back to the cone, I just wanted to make sure that the cone was completely dry. So this is just an embossing dryer I have, but you can definitely use a hair dryer. So you can kind of see how that Crackle looks. I'll give you a closer picture of it. But this is where the cuteness happens. So I have this foam, floral foam. I think I got this either from Walmart or Michael's, one of the stores. I just cut a little piece. So I had one in there already before the video. I just wanted to show you. So all you're doing is sticking that down into the cone. Now these are just some flowers I had. Don't even remember where I got them from, but you can get flowers at Dollar Tree and Walmart. And I just have my wire cutters and I'm just snipping away some of the stems. They can be stubborn, so just go in there, pick as many as you want. You can see me struggling. But I just got a few. And you can use any kind of flowers that you have. There are so many to choose from. Now with spring coming up, I just did a project with some tulips. So, but definitely you want on a smaller scale because we're going to be putting them in the cone. So once you have them all cut out, you're going to take your sign and we are going to attach the cone to the sign. Look how cute that is. Just a little hot glue. Now looking at it, I wish I would have painted the inside of the little tube or whatever you want to call that. But the flowers are covering it up, so it's not a big deal. But you're just sticking your stems into the little foam in there. And again, just use whatever colors work for you. I think that the purple and the yellow look great together. So look how cute. Thanks for watching. For more DIYs, check out beinspiredmarket.net.